Hey, welcome to Math with Mr. P. Today we're going to be doing 6th grade math, chapter 4, lesson 8. This is the last lesson of the chapter, and in this chapter we will be dividing mixed numbers. Basically what we're going to do in this chapter is we're going to call back on our previous knowledge of how to set up a multiplication problem between fractions, because remember, anytime we divide with fractions, we basically turn it into a multiplication problem. So, give you guys an example of 3 3/4 divided by 1 1/2. The very first thing we need to do is to convert our mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now, I know that I say this because we have to become, the mixed number has to become a fraction in order to multiply, and I know you're going, well, it's a division symbol right now. Remember, once we convert, we have to flip the divisor or take the reciprocal of it. It becomes a multiplication problem. So we cannot take the reciprocal if the number is not a fraction. As right now it is a mixed number, so we will have to convert, change it into an improper fraction, take the reciprocal of it, turn this into a multiplication problem, and multiply. So let's do that first. In order to make a mixed number into an improper fraction, we take the whole number, multiply it by our denominator, in this case 3 times 4 would be 12, and add it to the numerator. 12 plus 3 would be 15. Put it over the original denominator. So this would make 15 over 4. On the flip side, I have 1 times 2, which would be 2, plus 1 would be 3. This would be 3 over 2. And remember, I can always check my work by dividing 4 going to 15 3 times. That would be 12. If I subtract, I'll get 3. So this is 3 3/4. This is what we began with. And on this side, 3 divided by 2, it'll go in 1 time. So it'll be 1 1/2, which is what we started with. So we did this correctly. Now that I have a division problem with just fractions, I have to do the steps that I've been learning where the number that is being divided, or the dividend, comes straight down. The division symbol becomes multiplication. And finally, I have to flip the other fraction, or take the reciprocal of it, so this becomes 2 over 3. Now what I can do is I can either multiply straight across, or I can cross simplify. In this case, I'm actually able to cross simplify twice. 3 and 15 both have 3 in common. If I divide both of these by 3, if I divide 3 by 3, I will get 1. And if I divide 15 by 3, I will get 5. On the other side, I have 2 and 4, which both have 2 in common. If I divide 2 by 2, it becomes 1. And if I divide 5 by 4, it becomes 2. Now I can multiply straight across, and we've talked about it. When you have a wall of 1s, it's literally just going to be this, because 5 times 1 is 5, and 2 times 1 is 2. So it still becomes 5 over 2. This is an improper fraction, so I have to simplify by dividing 5 by 2. 2 will go into 5 twice, which will equal 4. When I subtract, I'll have 1 left over, so my answer is 2 1/2. So it's going to call on all our previous knowledge that we've learned in this chapter. It's basically the same as dividing by a fraction, except we have the extra step of converting that mixed number into an improper fraction. So this one's going to be pretty quick. We're going to go ahead and look at a few examples in the textbook, and then we're going to go ahead and call this one a video. Real world link. The deepest point in the Earth's oceans is the Mariana Trench, which is located 6 4/5 miles beneath the ocean's surface. The average depth of Earth's oceans is 2.5 miles. By contrast, the highest elevation of Earth is Mount Everest, which is about 5.5 miles high. Write a division problem or write a division expression to find how many times as deep the Mariana Trench is than the average depth of the ocean. So, Mariana Trench was 6 4/5 miles beneath the ocean's surface. I'm going to go ahead and write this on my digital whiteboard. So it's 6 4/5 divided by the average oceans, which is 2.5 miles. They want us to find out how many times deeper is the Mariana Trench than the average depth of the ocean. So we're going to go ahead and divide 6 4/5, which represents the Mariana Trench's depth, by the average ocean depth, which is 2.5. And remember, this is in miles, so we're going to put miles back at the end in our answer. First step is first, we must convert our mixed numbers into improper fractions. 6 times 5 will be 30. Add that to the 4, which will make 34. And this will become 34 over 5. 2 times 2 will become 4. Add that to the 1. This will become 5 over 2. I must now do the steps in order to make this a multiplication problem, because I know some of us may have just jumped and gone, oh, I can cross simplify. Not yet. We have to turn this into a multiplication problem first. So this number will come straight down, which will become 34 over 5. Division, shake it up, becomes multiplication. And we're going to flip the divisor, or take the reciprocal of it. This will become 2 over 5. Now, I want to cross simplify. 34 and 5 have nothing in common, and 2 and 5 have nothing in common. Remember, I couldn't cross simplify here because this wasn't multiplication yet. Do not cross simplify before you turn it into a multiplication problem. So those 5s, unfortunately, are going to stay here. They're going to stay the same. Now, since I can't cross simplify, I'm going to multiply straight across. I know my 5s. This is going to be a denominator of 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. 34 times 2, if I'm not mistaken, will be 68, but let's go ahead and do the math. 2 times 4 will be 8. 2 times 3 will be 6. This is an improper fraction, which will need to be simplified. I'm going to go ahead and drag this over this way. 68 divided by 25. I know 25 will go into 68 twice, because if I count by 25, it'll be 25, 50, 75, 100. So it'll only go in twice, which will be 50. When I subtract 8 minus 0 will be 8. 6 minus 5 will be 1. This will be 2 and 18 25ths. And I need to make sure that 18 and 25 have no common factors. 25 will only have factors of 1, 25, and 5. 2 won't go into it, 3 won't go into it, 6 won't go into it, 7 won't go into it, 8 won't go into it. So it looks like this is my final answer, and then don't forget that this is in miles. So you put the M there. So the Mariana Trench is approximately 2 and 18 25ths times bigger than the average size or average depth of the ocean. And that would be our answer. We have an example of 1 3/4 divided by 2/5. Let's go ahead and clear our whiteboard off. 1 3/4 divided by 2/5. Now, even if one number is a mixed number, we still have to convert that mixed number. We do not need to convert the 2/5 because it's already a fraction. So whole number times denominator, 1 times 4 will be 4, plus the numerator, 4 plus 3 will be 7. This will become 7 over 4. this number will come straight down because it is the dividend. It's the number that's being divided. We don't change it. The division symbol becomes multiplication, and we are going to flip or take the reciprocal of our divisor, and this will become 5 over 2. Cross simplification will get us nothing in this case because 2 and 7 have nothing in common, and 4 and 5 have nothing in common. So we're going to multiply straight across. 7 times 5 is 35. 4 times 2 is 8. Improper fraction. And I am going to divide. Now, I've told you guys before, 8s are my worst. I struggle with 8s. I'm going to call in previous knowledge. I know that 8 times 3 is 24. And then I'm going to do my math. If I can add 8 more to this and be under 35, then I know it's 4. 24 plus 8 would be 32. 8 more will be definitely over 35, so 8's going to go into 35 4 times, which is 32. When I subtract 5 minus 2, I'll get 3, and 3 minus 3 will give me nothing. My answer will be 4 and 3/8. And I make sure that that 3/8 is simplified, which it is, because 3 and 8 have nothing in common. And there is my answer, 4 and 3/8. And right there, 4 and 3/8. Now this one says to estimate. We're not going to be doing estimates on our test, so you guys can ignore that word there. Let's see. Let's do this one, and then we'll do these 3. And I think we are good to go, and then again, the chapter will be over. So let's do 3 and 3/4 divided by 4/5. 3 and 3/4 divided by 4/5. 4/5. Our 4/5 is going to stay the same because it is a fraction already. We are converting our mixed number. 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 3 will be 15. And now I have a division problem with 2 fractions. First number comes straight down, stays the same. Division becomes multiplication. And we flip or take the reciprocal of our second number, or the number we are dividing by, our divisor. This will become 15 over 4 times 5 over 4. Cannot cross simplify here. 15 and 4 have nothing in common. 4 and 5 have nothing in common. I will be multiplying straight across. I know 4 times 4 is 16. And 15 times 5 I'll need to line up. 5 times 5 will be 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 will be 5, plus the 2 will be 7. I have an improper fraction. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use guess and check here, because I don't know off the top of my head how many times 16 will go into 75. I can round 16 to 15, count by 15s. It'll be 15, 30, 45, 60, so maybe 4 or 5. Let's check 5. I think 5 is going to be too much, but let's check it anyway. 5 times 6 is 30, carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus a 3. Yeah, over. So it won't be 5, it will be 4. I'm going to erase all this work just so I have extra space, and I'm going to change my color. 16 times 4. 4 times 6 will be 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4 plus the 2 is 6. 64. 5 minus 4 will be 1. 7 minus 6 will be 1. My answer will be 4 and 11/16. Check to make sure that 11/16 is simplified. 11 and 16 have nothing in common. Therefore, it is simplified. And I'm drawing on here on accident. There we go. All right, let's do these got it problems, and then we will call this one a lesson. So go ahead and pause here if you would like to try these, and then we can go over the answers. Now, hopefully we've all paused and we've tried these questions. So let's go ahead and do these. 2 3/8. We are dividing this by 1/4. Mixed number must become an improper fraction. 2 times 8 will be 16, plus the 3 will make this 19 over 8. And we are going to bring that straight down. This will become multiplication. And as always, flip this to become 4 over 1. I can simplify now. 4 and 8 have something in common. If I divide 4 by 4, it becomes 1. If I divide 8 by 4, it becomes 2. And I'm going to multiply straight across, which will make this 19 over 2, because I had the wall of 1s here again. 19 divided by 2. 2 will go into 19 9 times, which will be 18. And I'll have 1 left over. I'll have 9 and 1 half. And that is my answer. Next problem. 2 and 1/2. 2 and 1/2 divided by, that's a terrible looking division symbol. Let's try that again. Divided by 3 over 7. Now we're going to need to convert our whole number. 2 times 2 will be 4, plus the 1 will be 5. This will become 5 over 2. Bring this number straight down. Change division to multiplication. Flip the second number. And we can multiply straight across after checking for cross simplification, which 2 and 7, nothing in common. 3 and 5, nothing in common. So we're going to go ahead and just multiply straight across. I meant to do a different color, but it's fine. 2 times 3 I know is 6. And then 5 times 7 is 35. Improper fraction. Gonna go ahead and move the screen. 35 divided by 6. I know that 6 times 6 is 36, so it's not going to be 6, it's going to be 5, which will be 30. When I subtract, I'll have 5 left over. My answer will be 5 and 5/6. And 5/6 is simplified already. And we are on the last example. 5 and 5/8 divided by 3/4. And I'm going to double check that I wrote this correctly. 5 and 5/8 divided by 3/4. This will convert. 5 times 8 will be 40, plus the 5 will be 45. And we bring down 45 over 8. Change our division to multiplication. And we're going to flip the 3 over 4 to become 4 over 3. Now, 3 and 45. 39, 44 and 42, 43, 44, 45. So 3 does go into 45. This is a good chance for you guys to use your calculators and to double check just to make sure. But 3 will go into 45 if I'm not mistaken. 45 divided by 3 will equal 15. So if I divide both of these by 3, this will become, let's pick a different color, 1. And as we just checked with our calculator, 45 divided by 3 becomes 15. And The 4 and the 8 also have something in common, which is 4. If I divide 4 by 4, I'm going to get 1. And if I divide 8 by 4, I get 2. Notice I have my wall of 1s, so this is just going to be 15 over 2, which is an improper fraction. We're going to simplify this by doing 15 divided by 2. 2 will go into 15 7 times, which will be 14. When I subtract, I'll have 1 left over. My answer is 7 1/2. So, before we end the video, remember, if there is a mixed number in your division, you have to turn that mixed number into an improper fraction. It doesn't matter if the mixed number is the first or second number. You will still be converting. Remember, once you've converted and both numbers are some type of fraction, you will be doing the reciprocal, where the first number comes down, the division becomes multiplication, the second number gets flipped, or you take the reciprocal, and then it becomes a multiplication problem. And then from there, you go and do the multiplication step by step like we've been doing today. Check for cross simplification first, multiply numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator, simplify your answer. As always, I am Mr. P. If you have any questions at all, if you're in my class, you know where to reach me, and if you're not, please go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This has been Chapter 4 for 6th grade. I hope you've learned something. Good luck to everybody who's taking this test, and as always, I will catch you on the next one.